Brazil by Rocco. Brazil facts, flag, map, and geography. Flag of Brazil, pure green, yellow, blue, and white. The map of Brazil, the biggest country in South America. Geography of Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America and the fifth largest nation in the world. The Brazilian landscape is varied. Northern Brazil is dominated by the Amazon River and the jungles that surround it. The Amazon River is in the Amazon forest. Brazil has the Amazon River and the Amazon forest, which are the biggest forest and river in the world. A ton of Amazon horned frogs live in Brazil. Brazil is home to 600 animal species, 1,500 fish species, and 100,000 insect species. Brazil takes up 73% of its population. Population is South America. Most Brazil people work in factories or mines. Southeastern Brazil was once completely covered with dense forest. Now it is the country's industrial capital, home to Brazil's biggest cities, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. In the central western part of Brazil sits a flat, swampy area called the Pantanal. Brazil facts about currency, economics, and resources. Currency of Brazil, the real. 10 key facts about Brazil's economy. Brazil is the largest economy in Latin America, contributing 38.5% to the region's GDP. The Brazilian economy is almost twice as large as the region's next largest economy, Mexico. Brazil is a member of the Mercosur trade bloc, dominating the group economically with twice that of the combined total of the other members. Brazil moved from 78th to 70th in the 2012 global rankings of per capita consumer expenditure. In 2012, Brazil had the highest per capita consumer expenditure of the BRIC countries. Brazil's consumer market was worth US $1.37 trillion in the 2012, making it the world's 7th largest consumer market based on a ranking of consumer expenditure in 2012 in USS. Brazil was the world's 22nd largest exporter and importer in 2012. 41 million households in Brazil had a disposable income of USS 10K plus 10,000 plus US dollars plus in 2012, more than the entire number of households in Germany. Brazil has the 6th largest population in the world, 2012 figures, and is the largest economy in terms of population in Latin America, accounting for almost 1 in 3 of all Latin Americans. Brazil has the 5th largest workforce in the world, 106 million people in 2012. Resources of Brazil. Well-developed agricultural, mining, manufacturing, and service sectors, and a rapidly expanding middle class. Natural resources. Bauxite, gold, iron ore, manganese, nickel, phosphates, platinum, tin, rare earth elements, uranium, petroleum, hydropower, and timber. With its ideal agricultural climate, Brazil boasts a healthy export trade in coffee, sugar, soya beans, textiles, and electrical equipment. With a population of almost 200 million, Brazil is the world's leading exporter of sugar, coffee, beef, and orange juice. Soybeans are Brazil's fastest growing shipments, powered by the appetites of China's 1.3 billion consumers. Other major exports include aircraft, vehicles, iron ore, steel, textiles, and footwear. Brazil facts: government, history, and famous people. Government of Brazil. Brazil is a federal republic consisting of 26 states in the Federal District of Brasília. Each state has its own elected legislature and governor. Brazil's legislative body is the National Congress, which is composed of the Chamber of Deputies and the Federal Senate. Deputies are elected on the basis of population for a term of 4 years. Senators serve 8-year terms, with 3 senators elected from each of the states. From 1964 to 1985, the military controlled the government under a succession of generals who suspended constitutional guarantees of rights. Civilian government was restored in 1985, and a new democratic constitution took effect in 1988. It provided for direct elections of a president and vice president to 6-year terms. The president is the head of both state and government. History of Brazil. Brazil's earliest inhabitants were the Indians. The Portuguese navigator Pedro Alves Cabral claimed Brazil for Portugal in 1500. Portuguese settlement. The Portuguese king started the settlement of Brazil by giving favored nobles grants that stretched far inland from the coast. In the east and south, groups of people called bandeirantes roamed the interior in search of gold. They opened large regions for more exploration and settlement. By the early 1800s, Brazil's first gold mines had been nearly exhausted, but a large part of the country was permanently settled. Just as the first movements for Brazilian independence were developing, troops sent by French Emperor Napoleon invaded Portugal. In 1808, the Portuguese royal family and more than 1,000 members of the court fled to Brazil. Brazil remained an empire from 1822 until 1889, but much of the nation's wealth depended on slavery, and economic growth ended when slavery was abolished in 1888. Brazil became increasingly important to the world politics and fought on the side of the Allies during World War I, 1914 through 1918. Kubitschek told the Brazilians that they would enjoy 5 years of the progress of 50 years. By 1964, Goulart's leftist policies had created an economic crisis. The 1989 elections were the first since 1960 in which Brazilians voted directly for the president. Cardoso's primary challenge was to stabilize the country's failing economy. In 2002, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva of the Workers' Party was elected president. Da Silva, popularly known as Lula, was a former factory worker and labor leader. He won the election by the largest margin in Brazil's history. A famous person in Brazil. Candido Pordenar, born 1903 and died 1962, famous for his art and masterpieces of poor people in Brazil. Brazil facts about holidays, language, and traditions. Holidays in Brazil. Lie Day, April 1st. People are not supposed to lie that day. Valentine's Day, June 12th. Celebrated similar to here in America. Children's Day, October 12th. Children receive presents from their parents and other relatives. All Souls Day, November 2nd, where they go to cemeteries and visit their deceased loved ones. Easter and Christmas, celebrated the same dates as in the USA. Christian religious holidays. New Year's Eve, December 31st. At midnight, there is normally a display of fireworks. Everyone dresses in white to bring peace to the new year. Making promises is a common tradition on New Year's Day as well. Languages of Brazil. Official language, Portuguese. Immigrant languages, Dutch, Japanese, Korean, North Levantine spoken Arabic, Spanish, Toroyo, Blacks, Romani. Regional languages, German, Italian, and Pomeranian. Language counts. The number of individual languages listed for Brazil is 236. Of these, 216 are living and 20 are extinct. Of the living languages, 201 are indigenous, 15 are non-indigenous. Furthermore, 5 are institutional, 31 are developing, 27 are vigorous, 56 are in trouble, and 97 are dying. Traditions of Brazil. The Brazilian culture is one of the world's most varied and diverse. This is due to its being a melting pot of people coming from many countries, as well as a result of centuries of European domination as well as slavery, which brought a lot of African migrants across Brazil's borders to live in and influence the local cultures with their ancient customs and ideas. The European settlers also brought ideas, new ways of doing things, and belief systems with them, shaping the local communities in a very large way. All of these different influences have meant that the modern-day Brazilian culture is unique and very complex. Approximately 80% of the population ascribes to the Roman Catholic faith. Brazilians as a nation focus much importance on the family structure and the values that are entrenched within that institution. Brazil facts about tourist attractions, foods, and schools. Tourist attractions of Brazil. Rio de Janeiro, Christ the Redeemer statue, Iguaca Falls, Amazon River and Amazon rainforest, and Salvador beaches. Foods of Brazil. Barbecued meats, cachaça, Brazil's national cocktail made from fermented sugar cane, quindim, glossy yellow sweet made from egg, sugar, and coconut, acai, a hard purple berry from the Amazon River, makes juice, desserts, and is put in salads. Fried bar snacks, deep-fried crispy pastry filled with melting cheese, minced beef, and palm hearts. School in Brazil. Classes begin at 7:30 a.m. Kids enjoy school, and they like their teacher. Their favorite subject is Portuguese. They also like writing and history. On Friday, they have music lessons and computer class. 10 a.m. It's time for lunch. Usually they have rice and beans with salad and meat. 10:20 a.m. Back to class, they work on a social studies project. Before they know it, it's 10:45 a.m., the end of the school day. The end. Thank you for watching by Rocco Dutcher.